G'day.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. What's happening? You know what? Earlier on, I thought I'm going to bring that up on the pod later,
All right.
and I don't know
You
what
can't
it
remember what it
was.
was.
It's gone. Ah.
Fantastic.
So I saw an announcement yesterday.
Yeah.
Vegan Camp Out are launching in Australia,
Three.
which is something that Jordan spoke to us about
Yes.
when he came on for his episode. So it's very exciting. Might tap him up and see if they need an official podcast to go over there and sample it all
Sounds like
expenses
fun.
paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, see what he thinks. I mean, I can imagine what the answer will be, but you don't know if you don't ask.
No, exactly. Good Lord.
It's a
Wow.
long way to go for a weekend, though, isn't it?
Ooh. Sorry, I'm eating biscuits.
Yeah, I noticed that. Not only are you not saving me one, you're actually eating during the pod as well.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
absolutely. And again, like you just said, I saw some news and I can't remember what
Oh
it
yeah.
was.
Maybe it was the same news.
Maybe it was.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Who knows?
This is a bit dry, isn't
I mean, we're all over this, aren't we? The script has
it?
been nailed.
I've got no inspiration at all. I sat in a meeting today and well, I sat in lots of meetings today, but I sat in one meeting in particular this afternoon, and everyone was just gabbing away, and I was just sat there like, I've got no idea what's going on.
No.
And I've been working on something I've been working on for over a year. Like I know what's going on, but I just like my brain
No.
just isn't
Yeah,
working at the minute.
I was doing a bit of seed sowing earlier.
Yeah,
Um,
in relation to talking about veganism,
talking about veganism.
not gardening.
No, no, I was supposed to do that as well, but I forgot. We haven't planted any. Going to grow some vegetables, but haven't got around to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that we won't get any potatoes. um, and the lady I was speaking to had watched Cowspiracy on my recommendation.
Awesome.
She then felt like she needed to do more about it, which is great,
Mm.
but still says she needs further. I don't know what the word is. Fuel,
Beating. Oh, fuel,
fuel.
not
Let's go
beating.
with fuel. Um,
Encouragement.
encouragement. Yes, that's a good one. And it's that you think someone has a really engaging conversation with you and says that they want to do it, and they know why they want to do it, and they know why they have to do it, but still can't get to that point.
It's so frustrating, and you're like, what is it that's going to push you over the edge if you've seen all that and read everything and all that? Why are you still not over the line? Doesn't make sense.
You've got the argument that some people just won't do it, and that's fine. Some people are just that way inclined and are like, it's never going to happen. They're never going to change, and you're not going. There's no point fighting. But when you've been given the education, when you have the knowledge,
Mm.
and you want to, but you still don't, and you still can't. I don't understand that.
You've got a question: do they really want to, or are they
Yeah,
just saying that because if you really wanted to, you would?
yeah. And then it was at the same sort of moment, but to someone else that was sort of on the sideline was talking to me about it, and they said they did the butt bacon thing,
Oh,
but it was like, but that not in a not in a troll sense. They were like, like we would have done when we were carnists.
Okay.
Just like I like bacon too much. So I just said, but you know how you get bacon. You know pigs have to be killed to get that. I know that, but I'll pretend it's not happening.
Oh, go away and boil your head.
It's
Come
like,
on.
um, it's just so hard because you like if you know it's happening, but you pretend it's not. And I'm now trying to help you understand that you need to accept that. I'm not forcing an issue. I'm by no means Joey Carp. Just saying, just to say those, have that conversation. Yeah, I get it. I completely get it. But I like bacon. I actually do
It
genuinely like bacon. I'm like, no, no, no.
I kind of think if you're in that position, that person, you say you understand it, you say you get it, but you still do it, you're a prick. An absolute fucking prick. What's wrong with you? Either you get it or you don't. That's it. And the only reason you're still eating it is because you're a prick.
Yeah, because before we transitioned, I was of the mindset. I like it and I don't care. I
Yeah.
know, I know it happens and I don't care.
Mhm.
But to know it happens, oh, and I don't like to know about it because I know it's really bad,
Yeah.
then bacon isn't an excuse.
Yeah. Not at all. No, I've maybe that's just my state of mind at the minute, but I've got very little patience for people who pretend that they love animals and then eat them as well. And I
Yeah,
think it's just like don't even bother. Like
yeah.
people find out you're vegan and say, "Oh yeah, I barely eat meat now." Oh, fuck off.
I love it when you. I love it when you're in one of these moods. It's brilliant.
It doesn't happen very often. It's been a long week, and I just like, oh, come on. Like by the time this episode comes out, we'll have released our episode with School Night Vegan, and he
Mm,
says in there, just grow up.
yeah,
Just like, it's such a childish argument. Oh yeah, but I just really like the taste of it. Grow up.
yeah,
Just grow up. Come on.
yeah. 100%. I love that episode. He was a legend, wasn't he? He was so funny.
I've been editing it this week. I just killed me laughing every time, all the time. I'm sitting on the train editing it and laughing my head off.
Yeah.
That's been the highlight of my week, I think, actually.
Edit this out.
Maybe.
No, please.
Must be good.
Marcus's hope was a bit sad, wasn't it?
Sorry.
Marcus's hope was a little bit. "Ugh, I haven't really got any hope, so it's all shit." I thought, oh God, no.
That's how I feel quite often, to be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Everything is shit.
I think we've had quite a long standing. Oh, you've got to have hope, and this is why I have hope. And then he just went, "No, I haven't really got any."
Nope. No.
Damn right, no,
Yeah.
it's all.
No, yeah, I get it though. That's good though, because you can't always have hope. And maybe some days you will have hope. It's so dependent on so many different factors, isn't it?
Yeah. The
There we
hope
go.
is that I still think though that you can put this bit back in now.
Thanks.
That I still go on that train of thought that it's grown so much in the last 5 to 8 years. It can only keep getting bigger. Greg's Greg haven't moved
Yes.
H2 coming in. That was one of the things I was thinking of.
Oh wow. What have we got? What are we getting?
Mexican chicken pastry or something.
Oh, don't mind it.
Yeah, something like that. But there was a couple of other like foods that were coming out that I was like, what, that's going to be almost revolutionary. I can't remember what it was now.
Yeah. I think that's the sort of thing that you could get hope from, because companies making stuff vegan can only show that there is a market for it.
Yeah,
So
100%.
it taking hope from that is doable.
Yeah.
I think it's I think for me, my loss of hope is around a lot of sort of other things that are happening, not necessarily about veganism, just
Yeah, definitely.
general.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
world is shit kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
but it's that's what I try and explain. That's why what I try and explain to a lot of people is out of I think it's the 5 top reasons for the climate crisis. This is the only one we can actively change.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
We can't change industry. We can't all afford electric cars.
No.
You know, there was, and I can't remember. There was another one that I was like, I think it was like the energy, household energy. You know,
Yes.
we can't change. You know, I would love to use green energy, and I do. You
Yeah.
know, the company I'm with, they give us green energy, but they still fund into the oil industry. So you can't help it. It's just, you know, it's one of them. I even spoke to them once, and I said, if I'm using green energy through you, why am I not on a cheaper rate? And they
Yeah.
went, it all goes into the same grid. I went, well, that's unacceptable because you should be trying to get people to use green energy, and by doing that, you would offer it at a cheaper rate, wouldn't you? But no,
Yeah.
it all goes into the same grid, it's all the same price. So what's the point? However,
It's all a big con.
the one thing we can change is the way we consume. That's why I would take it.
Yes, that's a good shout.
The one thing we can make a difference on
Yeah.
at a shopping level. And I was just thinking then a few minutes ago that food is where people start from, isn't it? So
Yes.
you go shopping regularly. You don't go clothes shopping regularly, so you might forget about a leather belt, leather shoes, those sorts of things. But I would hope that the more people eat plant-based, there wouldn't be not a demand, but they wouldn't have the industry to supply leather
Yes.
because the meat industry would have declined. So
Yes.
the clothing companies would have to go somewhere else to find an alternative because of the way we consume food.
Yes. That's it. And as processes improve for making non-leather belts and wallets and stuff like that, and handbags, etc.,
Yeah,
it will become cheaper to make. And in the end, it will be cheaper to make a vegan version than it will be to make a dead cow version.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So,
You know,
yeah.
again, it's that the milk thing, isn't it? The government subsidised milk. That's cheaper. Now the price of that's going up because more people are going plant-based milks. So eventually, that will swap over, won't it? You know, the meat
Yes.
will go, dead animals price will go up, and plant-based stuff will become cheaper because of demand.
Exactly.
That's the hope. That's the hope I live in every week.
Yeah. You've picked me up there. Well done.
Oh, don't believe that for a second.
No, yeah. Dear.
So who we got today?
Oh, well, this is exciting because our guest today is Duncan, who he and I have followed each other on Strava, I think, first of all,
Okay.
through both being vegan runners, shout out vegan runners, of course. And so we started following each other when we realized that we were both vegan runners and we both live in the same town. So we've since bumped into each other at a couple of park runs in Corby, especially, and once at Kettering. And Duncan was mentioned in a previous episode because he is the one who told me he had previously been a fruitarian. So he's been a fruitarian, which is a predominantly fruit-based diet, as the name suggests. So I'm very, very excited to hear about that. we mentioned in an episode before, actually, was you mentioned in an episode before about someone who said that they ate 50 odd bananas in a day.
Yeah. Was that not? I don't know if it was on George's Cans in Debunked podcast or something like that.
Okay, maybe.
Something like that.
But Duncan listened to our episode and commented on the post to say that's perfectly doable.
Right.
So we'll ask him about that as well.
Yeah.
And
it was too much potassium. I was told you could only
yeah.
eat two any more than 2 bananas a day. You'd have potassium overload and die.
Okay. Well, we will. I mean, he may well be living proof that that is not the case.
If he turns up,
as long as he doesn't die in between. So so Duncan is our guest today. He's also mentioned that his daughter, who has been vegan since birth, may also wish to join in.
Okay.
Who's 7? She's 7. So
that's fine.
She may be our youngest guest.
Yeah.
So far.
I think she would.
So we'll see. If you want to get involved, find us on social media. Instagram is our most active platform, I think, and you can find our link tree to find all the links. And what else? Send us an email.
Send us an email. Ask any questions you want. Get in touch. Talk to us because we're really lonely and sad. Our email address is howiveganpodcast@gmail.com.
Just before Duncan joins us, I'm going to give a shout out to Victoria, who ran a marathon last weekend, and for some bizarre reason decided to listen to our podcasts. I don't believe while she was running, but certainly during a lot of her training, which is absolutely flabbergasted to me. Why you'd not only put yourself through a marathon, but also listen to us while you're doing it. Absolutely incredible. But she ran the Newport Marathon at the weekend and finished in a time of 4 hours 24 minutes.
Wow.
Which you and I don't think you and I could do that if we ran half each, could we?
Yeah, I struggled to watch a film for 4 hours. And then I'm just sat on my ass.
That's the same. Yeah. So well done, Victoria.
Well done, Victoria. You're amazing.
We're here.
Hey. Welcome, Duncan.
That's the end of the podcast. I'll see you later on.
We had a few technical issues.
No problem. Hello.
I was going to do it on the iPhone, but the iPhone wasn't having it, so we're on the Mac. Are we good?
No problem.
Sound wise.
Sounds pretty good to me.
I can hear you. What's your name?
Riley.
Miley. Cool. How old are you, Miley?
Riley with a R.
Oh, Riley. Sorry. How old are you, Riley? I'll edit that bit out. How old are you, Riley?
How old?
7.
7. Wow.
You are officially our youngest guest.
She was just wondering. She was like, I'm going to be the youngest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Welcome to How I Vegan Podcast. How many other podcasts have you been on, Riley?
None.
First time.
None so far. None so far. You got to start somewhere. Yeah, that's it. Push your dad out of the way.
Matthew's vegan, so he'll be really nice.
Yeah. So's Wes.
So's Wes.
Yeah.
He's got scary beard. Don't be worried by the beard.
He hasn't got a scary beard. He's got a Santa Claus beard.
Okay. You know what they say? Don't work with animals or kids. So good luck.
I'm gonna do this one.
Oh no.
You better take out that.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so welcome to the pod. Well, let's do a little introduction. So our guests are Duncan and Riley. Now, Duncan, we met. Did we first meet through Instagram, Strava, or something like that? I think.
I might have Strava stalked you.
Yes, and I think it was either pre or just around lockdown when.
Yeah, because I think I saw you doing Kettering park runs, but I don't do many
That's
park
it.
runs. So
Yes, that
I
was
knew
it,
of
wasn't
you,
it?
and I think
Mr.
I knew of
Green
you,
Runner
but you
doesn't
didn't
do
know of
running.
me.
Yes.
Mr. Green Runner doesn't do any.
No, I'm lazy runner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me too. It's too early on a Saturday morning. It's too early on a Saturday
I
morning.
work
Isn't
a
it?
lot of Saturdays, so that's my excuse.
Yeah, you've got an excuse. I'm just lazy. Duncan, the first time we met, you told me that you'd previously been a fruitarian.
Ah, yes.
So I confess I don't really know much about fruitarianism. So how did you get into that, and what is it?
Are you going to say why?
Well, I might say why, but you tell us how you got into it, and then we might ask you why.
Okay. Well, this is all kind of a bit, tied into my story, so I'll paraphrase and give you the shorter fruitarian. So
That's all right.
basically, see, I'd never heard of it apart from in Notting Hill. You know the film Notting Hill with
yeah.
what's her name, Julia Roberts and Hugh.
Right.
And there was a character in their dinner table who claimed to be a fruitarian, and I thought, what a weirdo at the time, because I wasn't even vegan at the time, obviously. So a few years later, I turned out to be a fruitarian because I was messing around with my diet a bit. I actually went from not regularly, kind of like high protein, a bit kind of protein, meat eater to vegan fruitarian overnight. So I skipped out the whole sort of normal vegan thing, and I just went fruitarian, which is basically you just eat fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, a little bit. But I went to this thing called 80-10-10 raw vegan high carb. It's really not very complicated, but it sounds like, it's real clicky. So it's like a cult, like I suggested before. It's a bit of a cult.
Yeah.
But 80-10-10 refers to eating 80% of your diet from carbs, a minimum of 80% from carbs. A maximum of 10% from fat and protein. So it's a high carb, low protein, low fat, fruit-based, whole food, plant diet.
Wow. Holy moly.
4 years, 5 years, pretty religiously. I use the word religiously because it's quite religious on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Quite extreme, isn't it? Jesus.
Give us an example of a. Sorry. Give us an example of a day's meals then on an 80-10-10 diet. Well, I'm trying to picture how you'd get it that high.
You've seen it, haven't you? I mean, there used to be a website called 30 Bananas a Day, and that was kind of like the Bible website for all the fruitarians to hang out in. So like your ideal was if you ate 30 bananas a day, that would be 3,000 calories. So you would hit all of your 80% carbs, less than 10% fat and protein, because there's about 6% protein in a banana.
You ate more than 50, a little bit more than 50.
What's my banana eating record?
52?
No.
53?
No.
54?
No.
55?
One more.
56.
56. Yeah, you
in
counted
one day.
Yeah, 56 bananas in one day.
Yeah.
So I was saying to Matthew in the intro, I was told just 20 years ago that you couldn't eat more than 2 bananas a day because of potassium overload. So how does that work?
Well, on death row in America, I don't know whether they still do the whole death row thing still. I don't know, but they used to kill them with a potassium overdose.
Right.
But I mean, your body is designed to eat bananas, really, fruit. So the amount of potassium you get in a banana it's impossible to kill you. And if you have too much, you'll just wee it out. I think someone sort of looked at it and was like, because everyone was like, well, you're going to die of banana potassium overdose. And someone looked look, you got to eat 100 bananas in 30 seconds to overdose on potassium. And it's literally impossible to eat that many bananas that quickly. Unless you're
challenge, though.
you eat 56. Huh?
Sounds like a challenge, though.
Yeah, go for it. You'll feel like there's a thing called Banana Island, right? A lot of people start out doing the fruitarian thing and they do a week of Banana Island. and it's literally where you just eat bananas all week.
Wow.
Banana fruit, the banana bowl. The
Yeah,
banana smoothie for breakfast and
yeah.
dinner.
I see. I like to call myself a fruitarian in recovery because I still eat
A ton of bananas.
a smoothie every morning, don't I? With like 10, 12 bananas in. That's always pretty much always my breakfast if I have ripe bananas available.
Otherwise, you have
It's
to.
not so much falling off the wagon, it's falling off the apple cart.
Yeah. So yeah, I did 4 years of that, pretty solid. Got a wife out of it, and then got a vegan kid out of it. So it wasn't all bad.
Yeah, I suppose it's a success.
Well, I don't know. Maybe no, I better not say that bit about the wife. No, she's good.
What were you gonna say?
Is that clear? Do you understand fruitarianism now?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
It's basically just
incredible.
all you can eat fruit, and then some. You have to eat massive salads. Like we would eat massive bowls of salad, like literally, like not a side salad. We would
What about
have
fruit salad?
we would have a dinner of a mega sized bowl of lettuce, like two
Like
heads
this
of lettuce.
size?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. So then you're cutting out, yeah, I guess all the potatoy rice,
Yeah,
that
like
sort of
there was,
carby
like,
stuff and
have you ever
starchy
heard
stuff.
of David Wolf?
No.
See, I'm like real in the cult. So like David Wolf, he was like an American. He lived in California. He's like big on the health speaker scene. But he used to say raw is law, and like if you weren't raw, you were like evil.
Oh, wow.
If you ate cooked food, you were done, man. You were out of the fruitarian community.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So don't you get bored of 30 bananas a day or 56 bananas in a day?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't advise eating 56 bananas. That's not.
You just want
It's
to beat
not
your record.
unhealthy, but you are gagging a bit on, like puking up a bit of banana at the end of the day.
Oh,
Yeah.
You
and
just want to beat your record.
Yeah, well, I had a lot of ripe bananas and they needed eating.
Yeah.
So I went for the record. It was
Fine.
just like, just having one of those days where I had like
You didn't-
50 bananas lying around like you do.
More than 56.
yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah,
You,
Yeah, you know what
you
it's
didn't
like.
you didn't just go into Tesco and eat as many bananas as you could before they checked you out.
You think it's funny though. I am called Banana at work. So I mean
Yeah, that's true.
that's my
You
name.
put it on
Isn't
the
it?
back of your coat so you don't get so your
Yeah,
coat doesn't get stolen.
exactly.
Banana.
I put my name on the back, didn't I?
Banana.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
To me, it is the ideal diet. But it's very hard to sustain outside of a tropical climate. It's expensive to eat a lot of fruit. You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay. Yes. If it's
I
not
would
growing
love to still
locally,
do it.
yeah.
I've still got friends that are still doing it. You don't die, But cooked food is so cheap. I mean, we went to Thailand as fruitarians and we came back as non-fruitarians because even though we were in fruit paradise, the cooked food was just too cheap, and we could live in Thailand longer eating cooked food than we could fruit. So
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wicked.
Okay. So this is a bit of a delicate question that you might not wish to answer, but you know where I'm going to go with this. When you've eaten 30 bananas in a day, what effect does that have on your movements?
Oh, your bowel movements. That's what we're talking
Yes.
about. Everyone in the fruitarian community loves talking about poop.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you just have Mr. Whippy poops. It's like you sit down, you poop, you get up and you go again. It's like, oh great, that was easy, that was quick. Nice. On with
Doesn't
the
touch the
day.
sides. Just
Yeah, it's not like everyone at work is always like, oh, Dunk's got diarrhea, he's eating all those bananas again. The thing is, bananas can go either way. If you eat unripe bananas, you're going to get constipated.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Because
Okay.
there's too much starch in an unripe banana. You know what starch does to your shirt
Mm.
collar? It makes it stiff. So fruit is full of fiber. Fiber helps you, your bowel movements become nice and
Yep.
easy.
Okay.
You really don't want to have are we allowed to swear? Because you don't want to be full of shit, really. I mean, that's not the idea. That's saying it.
There is that.
Yeah,
True.
I mean,
Yeah. No, I get that.
if you want to get deep, I mean, I poop twice a day. I think that's normal. Some people will go, "Whoa, twice a day, mate. That's a bit much." But
Really?
well,
Really?
I've got guys at work that don't poop for 3 or 4 days, and I'm like, "Well, you've got issues, mate."
Yeah, that's bad, isn't it?
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
That's
That is.
nice.
Wow.
No, I'm amazed. I think it's
Not
amazing.
eating good or something.
I would try it if I were you guys. I mean, like bananas are delicious if you eat them ripe, which is spotty and sweet.
Yeah.
You can make nice cream, which is just putting ripe
You
bananas in the
eat
freezer
really
and blending
ripe
them.
bananas.
I do eat ripe bananas. Yeah, I
You
do
eat
like them
really
extra
ripe.
ripe.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Right. And then we'll report back and we'll call it How I Vegan Poopcast.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So Riley, let's talk about you for a minute.
Okay.
So that you don't get bored listening to your dad wanging on.
I can't talk. Sorry.
So no, it's good. That's why we got you on. So Riley, you're 7. So that means do you go to school or you homeschool?
I'm homeschooled.
Homeschooled. Okay. So there's no issues with being given non-vegan food or anything like that at school. That's good. Wes is clapping because his kids are homeschooled as well.
Ah, there you go.
Best way. Best way.
Yeah.
Keep them locked up.
No.
Or keep the world protected. Is it more?
Yeah.
That's better.
Riley, do you do as you're told?
You do what you're told by your mum, don't you? Because she schools you.
Do you do as you're told?
You can't nod.
Yeah.
You can't nod on a podcast because no one will hear you. This is one of those times when it's all right to talk. Okay, so what's your favorite vegan dinner or meal?
I like
Don't
rice.
say bananas.
Rice.
It's what?
I don't have to say rice. Yeah.
Okay. Good. We like a bit of rice. I eat a lot more rice as a vegan than I ever did as a non-vegan.
Yeah, well, we live with a half Korean, and so we eat a lot of.
So I'm actually a quarter Korean.
You're a quarter Korean, that's right.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, I guess that's become a big part of your diet then.
Yeah, we eat a lot of rice, don't we?
I have it nearly every day for dinner now.
Mm-hmm. What does Riley want for dinner? Ah, rice and seaweed again.
Whenever Mummy asks me, I say rice.
And you know what? Rice is like definitely 80% plus carbs.
Yes, good shout. So rice with bananas.
No.
No?
That would taste horrible.
What's your favorite fruits? You don't have any. You love watermelon.
Oh yeah.
Strawberries.
It's a hard question because I like all fruits.
You're just pretending not to be fruitarian.
All fruits is good. Liking all fruits is good, Riley. Who doesn't?
Yeah. Good to get a nice mix.
Keep your options open.
Yeah. Build yourself up to 56 bananas in a day. Start with 56 grapes.
Yeah,
and then 56 strawberries, and then 56 apples, maybe.
This sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
This could be called the 56 diet.
The 56 diet, and you can write a book about it and
become mega famous and then kill people and take no responsibility. Excellent.
Duncan, you posted the other day on Instagram about green runners.
Ah, yes.
Tell us about those.
Oh, it's time to waffle on again. Are you aware of Damien Hall, the ultra runner?
The name rings a bell.
Yeah, he's wrote a book. It's like one of those depressing books about how like running is bad for the environment and stuff. You know what it's like. Like t-shirts are bad, trainers are bad, going to events is bad.
Traveling to parkrun tourism is bad.
Yeah, staying at home is the only one. Which, if you really want to boil it down to the truth, mass events are not great for the environment. Ambulances can't get where they need to go. People die prematurely because there's no ambulances. All the water bottles, everyone knows everything, don't they, about. But what do you do? I mean, it's like drawing. You got to tread a fine line between like advocacy, if you like, and being a hermit. So. The green runners is kind of, I think it should be vegan runners cross green runners because they kind of overlap. Because if you're a vegan runner, you normally as a vegan will be environmentally conscious or more than your average person. So like green runners they're not advertising themselves as a vegan only running club, if you like, whereas Vegan Runners is only for vegans. So that's
Yes.
probably the biggest difference. And all they ask you to do is, I mean, it's real cheap. I think it was like a couple of pounds to sign up, and then you just do a pledge, and they ask you to do a pledge about 4 things: how you move, which is like what you do, like how you get around, whether you use your own car or whether you get on the bus or use public transport,
Yeah.
because those things are more, you know, CO2 efficient or whatever you want to call it. How you kit up isn't the second one, I think. So that's like if you reuse your kit, or you're just always buying new kit, like try not to buy new kit, or if you buy new kit, buy kit that's going to last longer, or buy secondhand on eBay, or all that kind of stuff. Number 3, what's number 3? How you eat. So like they do try and get people to say they'll be vegan. They do kind of like promote veganism, but they're not enforcing it as part of being in the club. So, because most people would consider veganism to be a more environmentally friendly way of eating.
Definitely.
And then number 4 is just how you do your advocacy, I think they call it how you speak up. So you guys could probably join the Green Runners.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Well, you can, like I'm going to be a collab vegan runner / green runner, and we got our Green Runners patches, didn't we?
Mhm.
You can pay for a couple of little patches.
Oh, cool. And then sew them on your Vegan Runners outfit. Yeah.
I just like, I think if you're a vegan runner, you're a green runner to me.
Yeah.
We've all got to be a little
you're
bit
most of the way there, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to do any park runs where I have to travel. I don't mind car sharing, like we've car shared before. But, as long I'd rather just do my local park run when I can get to it. So yeah, I don't do so many running events anymore, do I? And like you can I was due to do Milton Keynes on Bank Holiday Monday, and I could choose whether to have a T-shirt or plant a tree. So I obviously chose plant a tree, because there is another thing called Trees Not Teas, which is also another pretty cool thing where a lot of events are offering you to plant a tree instead of having a tea.
That.
Yeah,
that's good.
I like that.
Yeah, so I'm not doing any events that don't give you that option of having a tree instead of a tea.
That's a good stand to take, that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I can't think of the guy that started that is an ultra runner as well. He's just got the 24-hour British record. Oh no, I think he did the jog. Did he do the jog in a record? Can't think what his name is, but he's like the sort of brains behind the Trees Not Teas.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm going to quickly Google that while we're talking. What's Le Jog?
Land's End to John O'Groats.
Oh,
a lot of people cycle it, but there are running records, obviously. You can, if you're crazy, you can run it in like 8 days or something, 100 miles a day. All good.
What? No way.
Yeah.
You'd need more than 56 bananas to get you through that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you probably have to succumb to a bit of cooked food.
100 miles a day.
Yeah.
God.
Well, because I think it's, what is it, 800, 900 miles from Land's End to Johnny Groves? Something about
Yeah. Even though you're saying it like that, it does still sound like a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah. That's incredible. Wow.
You'll figure it out.
So, Duncan, what's your vegan story then? How did it all start for you?
Well, it did, like I said, start with going from high protein, not high meat, but I was definitely like banging in some eggs, like scrambled eggs every morning with spinach. I was doing the 4-hour body with Tim Ferriss stuff. I was trying to beef up because I was a bit skinny.
Right.
So getting in more protein, whey protein powder, and I'm still skinny, so nothing really happened. But I did run the Great North Run. I did a half marathon. I started running. My mum had done it, and she was old, so I was like, I can do that. So I said I'd do it with her the following year.
Older than her.
Yeah, and no, she's older than me. She gave birth to me. Nana gave birth to me.
Oh.
Nana. Yeah. So yeah, and I I was doing all right, but then I sort of like I wasn't feeling that great. I've never been that sick, so I mean, there wasn't any real reason to be messing around with my diet other than I was just trying to hack my way to better performance. And then I came across this, you know what it's like, you go down a rabbit hole and you end up going in all sorts of different directions. And I ended up like not running very quick. And I was like, there must be an easy way. So then I stumbled across this 80-10-10. I saw this Doug Graham, who's like the leader of it, and I was watching loads of his videos. I basically like brainwashed myself into doing it because I just listened to all of his stuff. I used to have my earphones in while I was working because I was posting when I was just walking, listening to all this stuff. Like, yeah, this is going to be amazing because they all say like you recover like you've not even ran. And it was kind of like that. I mean, I got faster without doing any extra training. So I was like, okay, there's something to this. I think my first Great North was like 150-ish. And then I did about the same training and I'd switched to like the fruitarian thing and I was down to like 140. And then like I sort of thought, well, I better do more than 20 miles a week. This is this is getting a bit fun. So yeah, I started doing all that, and then I went hardcore fruitarian for like 4 or 5 years. And like back then, I mean, this was 2008. So I'd been like a regular guy, you know, drinking and eating like your average Western diet, really. And then I just switched from the sort of disappearing down the protein diet to the fruitarian thing overnight. I mean, the only thing was, I say overnight, I was addicted to Papa John's goat's cheese pizza. That was the one thing I just like struggled to get rid of. I was pounding the bananas and dates and like the mangoes and everything else. And then every now and again I'd have this like, I need to have Papa John's pizza. That's goat's cheese. They're like, goats are okay. They're not getting hurt. They're like, someone going up to the top of a hill and milking a goat.
Yeah.
They're farming goats. Because, you know, goats are different from cows and stuff. So, yeah.
That's not true.
It's not true. And then as my mum, because I was living with my mum at the time, she was like, I used to say, this is the last Papa John's pizza you're ever going to see me eat. And then 4 weeks later, it would be like, this is the last Papa John's. But I survived. I got over my cheese addiction, which is hard because cheese is literally addicted because of the opioids in cheese. It's like opium.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is actually addictive, even though it's just weird, fermented, horrible stuff once you delve into that. And then, fruitarian for 4 years. I got married. Did I get married? I met the wife. We weren't like our honeymoon is when we slipped off the fruitarian wagon.
Right.
Yeah, then we just went regular old vegan, really, because we started eating the nice Thai Buddhist food, because that was just like rice and like seitan and all like amazingly just simple monk food.
Monk.
Yeah, so you know, I'm still, like I said, I'm still a recovering fruitarian.
Yeah.
I still eat a lot of fruit, and I still try and stick to like an 80-10-10, like macronutrient profile.
Wow.
If you want to be
okay.
Because I do think that is the ideal ratio of intake for humans.
So do you work that out like day to day, or is it just like natural now?
It's like all things. When you change something, you have to be a bit more analytical about it, and like it takes time because you're like trying to work out what calories and what. So when I first started, I used to weigh everything. Every now and again, I'd do a whole day of like weighing everything and putting it into like what was it back then? Chronometer. I used to do that a lot.
What's a chronometer? Sorry.
Chronometer was an online. I don't know if it's still going. It was an online like calorie counting kind of thing. You could use it.
Oh, right. Okay.
And then it would give you like your nutritional breakdown of your vitamins and your macronutrients and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So I did do bits of that at the start just to make sure I was like doing it right. Because, you know, the vegan police and the fruitarian police are worse than the vegan police.
No way.
You got to get it right. So, yeah. And now we're just regular old vegans, and we've been vegan, I don't know. I turned vegan at 30. I'm now 44. So that's like 40.
Oh, nice. A BC vegan.
Pre-conspiracy, not quite ancient.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched Earthlings. Earthlings was what did it for me, really.
Oh, really?
I was vegan. I just did it for health reasons. You know what I mean? I wasn't doing it for the animal loving stuff. I didn't realize all the torture involved. So I was just doing it for selfish performance, faster running, less training. And then
Mhm.
after a while, you gradually see more and more of the stuff. For me, it was all like forks over knives, China study, because I was pre all of that, like cow conspiracy. What's that one?
What the health?
What the health? Yeah, I was before that. So yeah,
Mhm.
I'm a tween vegan.
No, I would say anything more than 10 is ancient vegan, so
Oh, come on. Don't
that's
put me
fine.
I want to be in that group.
out. Riley, is your dad ancient?
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah, that you're never going to win that one.
You're never gonna win that.
yeah, so that's pretty much my vegan story.
Fantastic. What about you, Riley, then? Tell us what's your vegan story.
I don't know.
You just came out vegan, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you've been vegan your whole life?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you get to like hang out with friends and other family members and things like that who aren't vegan?
Yes.
Yeah. How does that go then if they offer you food or anything like that?
It doesn't have to go that bad because most of the time we bring food for me.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and you
Okay.
always, when you get your party bags and things, and if you're at a party, you always check, don't you? The
Yes.
sweets and stuff.
I always ask like Shelly if it's vegan.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's good. That's very good. You know what to look out for, the hidden sneaky ingredients that they put in.
Yeah. You know a lot of the sweets that aren't vegan, don't you?
That's good. Well done. That's really good. I couldn't have done that at 7. I'd have just been like,
Why do you do
I don't know.
that?
I honestly don't know.
Okay, but that's all right. All right. So, I just listening to your story, Duncan. I think most people would think that being vegan is the hardest diet that they're ever going to do. Oh, sorry, a plant-based diet is the hardest one that they're ever going to follow. And people really struggle to become plant-based. And here's you, who's like been a fruitarian for years, and gone, yeah, I just went back to being vegan. Like, yeah, whatever.
Because after that, vegan is easy, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just what you get used to, isn't it? It's like change. Just any change is always difficult. So
Yes.
I just found it easier. Like, because when I went vegan, there wasn't all of the junk food in the supermarkets. There wasn't anything in the supermarkets. So, I mean, it was easier just to do the whole fruit. I mean, normal, regular fruit and veg, because you knew it was vegan. Like, you don't have to check the label. And there wasn't any vegan options in the supermarket. So, in some respects, it was easier to do it that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And like you said about when you were in Thailand as well, and it's all, really cheap, really easily available. It's like the kind of default thing. So,
well, because like all the monks
issue.
there are vegan. They don't eat like any meat and dairy and stuff. So,
oh wow,
yeah, if you went and they were the cheapest places to eat. So
yeah,
nice. That's how it should be.
I think like everyone says vegan is expensive. I mean, if you eat like a whole food plant-based, fruit and veg heavy diet, like bananas aren't that expensive.
No.
Well, they have gone up from 75p to 99p a kilo, which is killing me. But like compared to meat, fruit and veg is cheap, and meat's even subsidized. I mean, if they just took away the meat subsidies and gave it on fruit and veg, we would be living in paradise. I mean, like all of your pulses, your beans, I mean, they're all cheap. I mean, if you're cooking yourself, you get a pressure cooker or something, if you're hardcore. Like eating vegan is actually cheaper unless you're throwing in all of the, ready meals and the stuff you can get now.
Yes. Yeah, like a ton of Ben and Jerry's for £4.50 or whatever.
Yeah, because now we all know that if it's a sausage roll, it's 10p, and if it's a vegan sausage roll, it's £10. I mean,
yes,
they stick the vegan word on and they double the price for everything. It's ridiculous. Even though it's got less ingredients and is probably easier to eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Must admit, I've started buying a lot more veg now. I'm trying to reduce the amount of processed food I'm eating. I still do it because it's simple, but actually I'm just sort of after the guests we had last week, I was just like, I need to start trying to do that a bit more. And I would said to the wife, I'm just going to go and buy a load of vegetables, fry them up, bang some fighters in, and have them with some rice.
Yeah.
And I'm quite happy with that. And now realizing that I'm happy with that is like, let's just eat more of this.
Yeah, and I think the less junk food you eat, like going from like regular meat eater to like fruitarian, like your fruit, your taste buds just literally, after a few weeks they just change and fruit tastes even better. And the cleaner you eat, if you want to call it clean, some people call it a clean diet.
Yeah.
The more your taste buds will appreciate the so-called plain foods, because they do taste amazing. I mean, you love rice, don't you? Just eat rice plain with no sauce, no nothing on it, just a bit of seaweed.
Wow.
And some cucumber.
I mean, tonight we had plain rice, a bit of sautéed dandelion leaves, and some homemade seitan, I think.
What?
No sauce.
That's
no
incredible.
I think the problem is comfort and convenience is killing us all. Like, if you can make your life uncomfortable and inconvenient, you'll be a lot healthier.
Oh, I like that.
It's how we lived thousands of years ago, isn't it? It's like the cold water stuff. I mean, we talked about that. Yeah, I've stopped doing it because the winter was too cold for me.
Yeah, it's grim.
But we didn't have hot water back then. That's we did used to bathe in cold water. We come from water anyway, don't we? Millions years ago.
Well, I mean, we're kind of swimming in water like fish. We just don't realize.
Yeah. So I agree with you. It's hard to get rid of them comforts, isn't it?
Yeah, everything, like, it's not easy for people because it is set up to help you be more comfortable and convenient. Like, it's called convenience stores for a reason. Like, you don't have to go far to get the food that's not great for you. Yeah. In the UK here, it's not. I mean, we have less of an excuse because there are some parts of America where, like, there really are food deserts. People can only go to like a fuel station shop, because if they want to go to a proper shop, they got to go hundreds of miles. So I mean, in the UK we are a bit luckier or unluckier because we things are more convenient. So
yes, that's it.
I like the thing of you drive down an American road and it says next convenience store 65 miles. That's not convenient.
No, exactly. Like my missus is American. She's half Korean, half American, and she thinks our road trips are ridiculous. She's like, an hour.
Is that it?
A road trip. 7 hours isn't it? That counts as a road trip.
Wow. I had one of the 7-hour drive before.
Yeah, that was an actual road trip, wasn't
it?
That is a road trip, yeah.
There's nothing better than a hunk of prime Labrador steak, wonderfully marbled. And that is almost entirely dependent on how it's produced. Elwood's Organic Dog Meat has complete control of this entire journey. So I'm here at Elwood's farm to find out a little more about it.
Welcome to Elwood Farms.
Thank you very much, Elwood.
I hear you do a bit of barbecuing?
I do a little bit of barbecuing every now and then, yes. From a chef's point of view, consistency is key for everything.
It doesn't matter if it's a Rottweiler ribeye, a Pyrenees mince, or a lab sirloin.
You can always tell when the dog comes from a place where it was well reared. And every step has to be right, doesn't it? Oh, you should see these guys. So, from an Elwood's point of view, there's complete traceability.
Absolutely. Unrivaled traceability, so it's fine.
Every single piece of dog meat?
Yeah, from pub to farmer's market.
Everything the dog's been fed?
Everything about it.
For each dog?
Yeah. Only Marks and Spencer's and Whole Foods do this.
Where else can people order from?
From elwooddogmeat.com. That's ELWOOD dogmeat.com.
For top quality meat from dogs for people, meat that's local, sustainable, and humanely harvested, there's only Elwood's Organic Dog Meat. They seem pretty friendly, don't they? They're more responsive to me than my kids, to be honest.
I'm guessing this is a question about fruitarianism, but what did your friends and family think about it when you went from being like a full-on meat diet to just fruit?
Yeah. What would you think? He's gone
Yeah,
crazy.
he's gone nuts.
Crazy. He's gone nuts. He's just eating nuts all day. Yeah, I mean, I think I skipped out the part where I ate chocolate for a week, raw chocolate. So I was doing some weird stuff anyway, so they were kind of getting used to it.
Okay.
I mean, I've been a bit rebellious most of my life.
Okay. I like that.
Well, I had a normal 20s, and then I kind of had a midlife, early crisis at 30. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
fair enough.
It's weird how, I don't know, some things you don't know what, like, even if you look back, you can't always connect all the dots to how you got to where you got to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
hard.
I get that.
I can't recall all of the details of why, and every precise decision. It was,
Things like a sequence
Yeah.
of things all sort of fell into place, and
yeah.
and that's
I
came
think
out
it
with
comes down to being like congruent with yourself. When you go vegan, you sort of think, duh. I mean, I used to call myself an animal lover, but I was loving them, ain't shoving them in the oven. And you finally go, oh, yeah, if I stop eating them, I can actually call myself an animal lover, and then that kind of makes sense. So it's difficult once you start heading down. I mean, like you guys know, once you change and then you stick to it, just more and more and more things add on, don't they? Like more and more reasons. So
yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? Like you take that one step through the curtain, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's this, and then oh, there's another curtain. Let's see what's in there, and then you just keep going, and before you know it, you're like, oh, look at this wonderful place that I'm in.
There's this flavour of Ben and Jerry's ice cream, and now there's this flavour.
That's it. Wes, you must have just celebrated your 5th anniversary as a vegan, because mine's just coming up, and you were a few weeks ahead of me, weren't you?
Yes. Yeah, and it's still weird that people say, how long have you been vegan? And I was literally 40. So I have to go, how old am I now? 45.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the same with me. I know I was like 30, so it's easier. Just
That's it. Quick bit of maths.
Yeah.
Makes it easier. I'm like, women write this stuff down. Like my missus knows the exact day and everything. Whereas I'm a bit vague. I'm like, well, I know at my 30th birthday I was definitely doing it. So yeah. She celebrates her vegan anniversary like on the day she knew she,
Wow. That's incredible. I don't have an exact date that I was vegan. I remember being on a work.
Messaging me.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Is this true? You've gone vegan? Yeah.
Oh, I do remember that actually. Yes, I remember. I was on a work trip, and I remember being in the restaurant and we were abroad and I had basically tomato pasta because I didn't speak the language and they didn't understand no meat, no dairy, so it was like the most boring tomato pasta dish you've ever had. And my boss sitting there going, the company's paying for this, and I was like, yeah, but this is what I want. I'm not. There's nothing else I can have. So,
I mean,
and he just looked at me like, what the hell are you doing?
I was in Turkey and I was like, no meat. They gave me chicken because to them, chicken isn't meat. It's like,
I remember on our honeymoon, we went to Las Vegas and then obviously did the Grand Canyon. We were in this little tiny town, and we went into like a Pizza Hut. Obviously, Michelle was vegan at the time. It was like, can I have a pizza with no cheese? And they were speaking English, but they just couldn't grasp we wanted a pizza. Like, make the base, put the tomato on, don't put any cheese on it, and then put some vegetables on it. You don't want cheese? No.
We used to do that. And then they think it's the weirdest thing, but they're like, original Italian pizza would have just been like a Neapolitan or whatever with no cheese on. So
of course.
Having the original pizza.
Yeah. It's just so far away from what they're used to, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, getting back to your question about like what everyone thought, like at the time they all thought I'm nuts, but now like half of them are vegan. So
oh,
that's good.
That's brilliant. They've come around.
Yeah, well, they watch you for a few years, don't they? Because they've seen how many times you've swapped and changed and done silly stuff, and then after a while they go, "Hold on, you're sticking to this one. There's something about this one, maybe."
Oh,
that's
maybe there's something in it.
Yeah.
I like that.
So
I
you
like
said
that.
you said that you were like you mostly did it for your own health and stuff, didn't you, and to improve your performance in running and whatnot.
Yeah.
So did you actively find that there was a change when you went to fruit?
Well, originally, yes. I mean, definitely noticed at the start because I was doing the whole opposite heavy protein diet, and I didn't do any sort of extra work because I'm a lazy runner, and I got faster just by switching my diet. So I knew that was the thing. But ever since then, I mean, I've only ever been fruitarian / normal vegan since because that was when I got into running, almost where I sort of swapped over. So I only really had like 6 months to a year of the other diet, and then the rest has all been vegan. So
Yeah.
I mean, I do think
you saw a difference. You actually saw a difference in your performance when you.
Oh yeah. I mean, I weighed less for a starter. I mean, I'm not heavy anyway, but I lost like I was half a stone lighter for like my next half marathon.
Wow.
But I wasn't like not eating as much. It was just the difference in like eating more carbs, just less fat and protein. Like oil, like I mean, I can be a bit preachy about it. I mean, I still have hangovers from it, but like to me, oil is like poison almost. Nobody should be putting oil in their food. It's like 100% fat. I mean, you wouldn't find it hanging on a tree, would you? Unless you squished an olive, and even then you'd be tough to get a whole bottle of oil out of it. I can be a bit strict about some things.
I don't think Wes has stormed off. I think he's. Oh no, he's come back.
My
But,
dog.
I just.
He's like, no oil. I'm
No,
gone.
yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm off.
Uh,
No, do you know what I've realised recently? I mean, I don't cook a lot. I'm very lucky that my wife is an excellent cook, and she does most of it. I cook probably twice a week at least, and I've realised recently that the things that I cook, the simple things, like spaghetti bolognese or chili, or like tonight peanut noodles and stuff like that. You don't need. It's just vegetables, isn't it? You don't need oil. You just put it in, and the moisture in the vegetables is what stops it sticking to the pan and all that sort of thing. So
yeah,
it's just a habit that we've been told you must use oil.
Yeah, it's one of those cultural things, isn't it? Your mum did it, so you do it, whatever. I mean, I say I don't really do that much cooking, but the wife will just use water quite often in the frying pan.
Oh yeah,
and just
that makes sense.
add in some bouillon, and you're good to go.
Yeah. So you don't cook bananas. You don't have because you can bake them.
Bananas are delicious, but that's extra work, isn't it? Why cook when you why create washing up when you can this is like the perks of fruitarianism, right? There's no washing up.
Yeah,
no dirty
it's got its own plate.
Yeah,
it's got its own plate, hasn't it, with the peel? Yeah.
The only thing I ever used to wash up was the blender because I was like smashing in smoothies.
Yeah.
But then you just drink out of the blender because you're like manly.
I've been making smoothies for breakfast the past couple of weeks. I'm like, so I just use the cup, or I still don't do it. I still pour it into a glass. I'm like, no.
You're classy.
Really?
Yeah.
Classy guy.
I think, shall I do this? It's right. No, I've got to pour it into a glass.
He has the finger out. He has the finger out as well when he drinks it. Yeah, the little finger. He's got to have that at least. Oh dear. So right, here's a bingo question for you then. Where do you get your protein and other nutrients? Although we've kind of covered it with your 80-10-10 diet, but how do you make sure you get that 10?
Bananas.
Yep, I was going to say
bananas.
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 Where do you get your protein
Really?
from, Riley?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, how are you even alive if you don't know?
Because I probably eat something with protein and I don't know what has protein in it.
Oh, yeah, there is that. I mean, I like when people ask me, because I don't think I've ever met anybody when I've reversed the question on them is like, where do you get your protein? Or how much protein do I need? Because they just ask the question because it's like what everyone asks. but they have
Yeah.
no idea. They've never done any research about it, and like when you say, "Well, tell me how much I need," and then I'll tell you where I get it from. They go, "Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. Mr. Universe has 500 grams of protein a day." I mean, if you look it up, the World Health, I don't know if it's a World Health Organization, but a few of the international health bodies, they recommend like I think it's 0.75 grams per kilo of body weight. And for me, that's like you're looking at 50 to 60 grams of protein a day. I mean, it's hardly anything.
No.
You can, you can get that from a bunch of bananas. You can certainly get it from like beans and tofu and broccoli. I mean,
portion of nuts or something, like a portion of like I said, broccoli, or 2 kilograms of uncooked spinach.
There is a word for protein deficiency, but I don't think they ever use it because really nobody dies of protein deficiency except
kwashiorkor.
Yeah, I mean it's just
we had that
malnutrition in general, not a protein deficiency. It's just starvation, really.
Right.
It's not necessarily a protein deficiency.
That was George from Carnism Debunked who told us that.
Yeah, I remember that episode. He's probably more of an authority than I am, but people just don't know about it. They just ask the dumb, what it's like. I mean, it's a joke, isn't it? We go,
absolutely.
Yeah. I've heard other people ask that question. I'm going to do it as well because it's really funny. That'll catch you out. Yeah. Bring it on.
I mean, we do a few protein smoothies here and there, don't we? You like a bit of protein smoothie sometimes. We had a bit of powder in, but it's kind of unnecessary.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a bodybuilder, Robert. I think his name's Robert Cheek. He was like the original vegan bodybuilder, and recently he said he stopped doing like no protein powders, no like supplemental protein in powder form, and only from whole foods. And he's getting stronger and like more ripped, cutting it out, and he feels a lot better. But you know what those bodybuilders are like? They just pound in the whey protein shakes one after the other. And he was doing the vegan version of that, so like pea protein isolate and that kind of stuff. And he said he stopped all of that, and he's actually getting stronger and feels a lot better.
That's incredible.
That, powder stuff. So
I love that.
Plants should be everybody's number one source of protein.
Yeah.
I mean, the cows are getting it from grass, so there is that. Or genetically modified soya, depending on where you get your cow from.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
What's the best thing about being vegan?
Best thing about being vegan, Rooster? No comment. It's not good, is it? Like you get bullied, you get harassed. Oh, it is good.
I'm thinking.
Okay, well, I'll say it's like, for me, it's a feeling of, I was going to say kindness, but you've had loads of people say kindness, so I had to come up with something else. And for me, it's more like, because you've got to be kind to yourself, haven't you? And then you can be kind to other people. And like, the problem with being vegan is you can differentiate not easy to say, differentiate yourself from everybody else, and it causes divisions. Whereas for me, I like to focus on the similarities with us all, because the moment you start, focusing on what's different with people, that's like religious stuff, that's ethnicity, and that just causes, violence, as we know. So I always sort of focus on like, well, what do you eat? Well, I eat what you eat, just minus the meat stuff. So I mean, like, just be kind to people, because most people just don't know, and they just spout the the stereotypical stuff that they've heard other people spout. But other than that, to me, it's more about peace and like having a sense of peace within myself, because I don't know, I just feel more like congruent with it, like the words that come out of my mouth when I'm like bashing someone over the head with a vegan club. It's like I have no like compromises where I'm doing something opposite to what I'm telling them. I mean, I just feel I'm more myself, you know what I mean? Because I don't have those like inner battles about like having opposites. I'm living one way and then speaking another. It's like, no, when you start actually meaning that you love animals, you don't actually keep eating them. I mean, a lot of it I just feel more peaceful, less aggressive towards non-vegans.
I like that.
What about you, Rooster?
I like being vegan because I save a lot of animals.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you were talking about the trees earlier, weren't you? Cut down less
Yes.
trees.
Yes, that's a good one. Yeah,
So-
you're going to need those trees when you grow up.
Yeah.
We're gonna need those trees to live because they give us oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Spot on. Spot on.
She's smarter than me.
That's how much.
I could have just said that, and that would have been it. Next question.
Oh dear. So, what is your favorite vegan product at the moment, apart from bananas?
Chiquita bananas are the bomb. And Gross Michelle bananas. Gross Michelle bananas. Oh my god.
Oh,
Gross Michelle bananas were the original banana that they used to sell everywhere. And then there was the Panama disease, which kind of wiped out the Gross Michelle, which means Big Mike.
Oh.
It's like French.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So then we got the Cavendish banana, and the Cavendish banana is kind of like your crappy banana because it's what we've done with everything. It's like it was easier to grow, it lasted longer, you know, it packed better, it traveled better.
Yeah.
You know, it tastes crap. We don't care. We can sell it, and it arrives in one piece, and we make more money. So the Panama disease was quite handy for them because then they could switch to the Cavendish, and the Cavendish is like your meh banana. But if you ever go somewhere tropical, and they do have Gross Michelle bananas, that is going to be your favorite vegan product, not product.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause
Still a thing. Yeah, still a thing.
My wife doesn't like eating as many bananas as I do. She like that was a big thing with her and fruitarianism. She could never get on with eating because to get the calories in, like bananas are a staple.
Right.
So she's never been a big banana fan. But when we were in Thailand and we bumped into the Gross Michelle, she fell in love with Big Mike, and I got a little bit. But you know, it is the best banana ever. I mean, there's loads of different varieties of bananas, but we just get the crappy Cavendish. But if you're talking products, what do you love? You love Oreos, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, she's eating
And avocado.
Pringles right now.
Nice. What flavor? What flavor?
I only like plain.
Plain, yeah. It's about the only vegan flavor now, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh yes.
I'm a big Bosch fan. I mean, I love the Bosch brownie mix.
Yeah.
And Aldi are doing like their total copycat of it. It's literally the same. It's the same size box. It's the same ingredients. The words on the back of the box are the same. It just is a bit less chocolatey. I think they've cut down on the chocolate, but it is the same. Have you had the Bosch brownie? Make
But
your
the
own.
Bosch, not the Aldi. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had the box.
Yeah, the Bosch brownie mix is amazing.
Mm.
And then
Yes.
their lemon drizzle cake is.
Oh, yeah, and it just.
Yes. Oh my god, I haven't had that for ages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, lemon
we love a
drizzle.
bit of Bosch.
Yeah, that's a good show.
There is something
I do
else.
like that.
Yeah.
A few years
Durian. I
ago,
love
I
durian.
would have eaten the whole Bosch cake to myself, and I'm just thinking maybe I could go do that now.
Yeah, I could.
Go and ram
You
it.
can do that on one day. I bet.
That wouldn't be 80-10-10, would it?
Definitely not.
That would not fit that.
No.
That'd be 80 fat.
You'd have to eat 129 bananas to count that.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah.
Wowzer.
No chance.
What advice would you give to someone who was going vegan? What sort of thing would you say to them?
What would you say to people going vegan, Moo?
Good job.
Good job.
I
Yes.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just great.
Encourage them. Yeah. I don't know. I've converted a few, and some of them have returned to old ways, and some of them have stuck at it. I mean, it's difficult. I mean, you have to have your own reasons for doing it eventually, and you can either brainwash yourself by watching all that miserable stuff and the depressing stuff. And some people go that way. Some people hate that stuff. So I mean, I would just say like change gradually. I did it overnight, but then it was different back then. There's too much temptation now. With all of that, like Aldi chicken balls and stuff. So I mean, you just like meat. I think meatless Monday is a good idea. Just like starting out with like maybe doing your breakfast vegan all the time, and just I don't know. everybody's different, aren't they? Some people just want to do it
Mm.
like all in one go, and that's how they operate, and then other people are like bouncing backwards and forwards. I would
Yeah,
say like, I'm never ever gonna not be vegan. I know there's been some high profile people that are supposedly vegan and then they don't. They go back, like Tim Sheep and people like that. I mean, even I had a friend, like a fellow fruitarian friend, and he had the Sea Shepherd t-shirt. I mean, he was into it. He was into like protesting, and now
Right.
he's like living in France eating local beef. I know. I don't get it. It's like, you know,
how can you be this side of the fence and then think and then
it's because of the
go back to it?
confusion. I mean, you only have to Google it, and there's 20 million different options. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
everybody is just bombarded with my way is the best way. I mean, I would just say do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I say like I am still experimenting. Like it's still an experiment being vegan. Who knows if it's right, but it's
Yeah.
working still. And if you want to, when I get to 100 and I'm still alive and you're struggling, maybe it would be a good idea to copy me then. I don't know. If I don't live to 100, don't copy me. But I mean, you just got to encourage people, haven't you? I mean, you just got to, some people, you know, they need the hammer, and some people need the gentle hug.
Yeah, some need the carrot and some need the stick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Riley? What if what if one of your friends said to you, I think I'm gonna go vegan. What should I eat? What should I do?
What would you say to Jacob if you were going to get him to go vegan?
Here's
So
some
eat more
bananas.
fruit.
Eat
And
more
veg.
fruit and veg. Good idea.
Good shout. Yeah. Things like just there's a lot of small steps you can make, just like switching out the milk that you have in your coffee or your tea, isn't it? And
Yeah, exactly.
things like that, and stopping having butter and
I mean,
things like that.
I think like
simple steps.
There really aren't any excuses anymore, because whatever you're addicted to, be it bacon or cheese, there is an alternative. The alternatives aren't exactly the same, but I mean, you know, texturally and stuff. Like sometimes it is just a texture thing in your mouth. I mean, you just crave that like chew sometimes, and it's like you know, there's loads of options for that stuff.
Yeah.
To just, you know, I mean, you know, you can just replicate everything now, can't you? If you were just a Sunday roast man, you can just vegan Sunday roast it easy.
I've said this to
Easy peasy.
people about how, you know, if you take sugar out of your tea and coffee, it takes a few weeks for your taste buds to adjust to that. Because at first, it's foul. For the first week, every tea or coffee you have is disgusting. But once your taste buds have got there, then it's okay. And I think it's just the same. I personally think it's the same.
Yeah.
You just used to hate tofu. They were disgusting, but now I love it. And rice cakes. I used to despise rice cakes. And
Marmite rice cakes. Damn, how did I forget about those? Marmite rice cakes.
Yeah. That you've just reminded me there, Wes, about my first experience of tofu was when the four of us, as in me and my wife and you and your wife, went to stay at the in-laws place in Spain. And we went to that Chinese buffet place. And Shell was vegan at that point. You know, that was, you know, way back in the early days. And I was vegetarian, and so was my wife. And we would have like sweet and sour tofu, or, you know, tofu in a black bean sauce or whatever that they did in this Chinese. And it was absolutely foul. It was like really, it was almost like silken tofu. So it was so like sloppy and just like snot, really, like sweet and sour snot. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. And I thought that's what tofu was like. Years. And then when we went vegan, and Lou was like, oh, should we have this with tofu? And I was like, oh, do we have to? She said, no, it's not like that. It's like, this is like hard stuff that goes crispy, and it's actually nice.
Loads of people are the same with the tofu, aren't they? Just don't know what to do with it. It's like,
that's it.
Yeah, I mean, Ru's first, like one of her first non-milk foods was tofu, plain tofu. She picked it off of the floor after we dropped some accidentally.
Good work.
That's
excellent.
What babies do, right? Just put anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
when they're around by your feet.
she was a baby. They put anything in the mouth. Tofu's good enough, isn't it? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not the worst thing.
no.
So
Yeah.
I will eat it in my mouth.
hmm
Yeah.
Who is your vegan inspiration?
Your vegan inspiration. Were you first? Because I waffle too much.
Okay. Sharon's Vegan Kitchen is a YouTuber and she's vegan and she shares a lot of vegan recipes.
Sharon's
Oh.
Vegan Kitchen.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I haven't
Not
seen
heard
that.
of that one.
No.
I'm gonna find
You
her.
should look at it. She has great ones like chickpea salad.
When are you watching this?
With mommy.
Okay, are you and Mummy still? I have a few, but they're kind of like old school. I was into like the China study and all that stuff. So that's like Caldwell Esselstyn and all those old American early vegan pioneers. Not early vegan pioneers, but like early 2000s kind of pioneers. Have you seen the China study? Or the book?
I've seen bits of it
Yeah.
because when we were at Vegan Camp Out last year, I watched the PETA activist speech, and they
Yeah.
talked about the China study. So I wanted to have a bit more look at it.
Yeah.
About 6 minutes of the video, I went, "Yeah, I get it."
It's not a great read, to be honest. It's not the best book in the world.
Right.
But I listened to the audiobook version of it, and it is very informative if you want to have like not arguments, I'm not arguing, but like being well informed about long-term vegan like results of proper studies. You know what I mean? 'Cause there's an epidemiological study in China and like hundreds of thousands of people. Amongst other studies, but it's some good stuff, and I think it's Caldwell Esselstyn, and there's loads of Americans that I got into at the start. Durian Rider, he's a fruitarian. He was like the big fruitarian YouTuber. I was a bit of a fanboy for a while. But I got into Scott Jurek, you know, the jerker, Scott Jurek. He was
Oh
in
yeah,
the
is an ultra runner, isn't
Yeah, he was in the barefoot running book. What was that called? Running Barefoot or something. I can't remember, but he was like a bit of a mini celebrity from that, and he was a vegan runner. And he did a book, Eat and Run, I think it's called. So I read that. Had loads of little vegan running recipes in there. And then Rich Roll, I love Rich Roll. After your podcast, Rich Roll is like the second best podcast out there for.
it? God, it must be rubbish.
Yeah, well, he's not. He doesn't just do purely vegan stuff. So I mean, there is that. I mean,
Oh, okay.
you know, yeah. I don't do like a lot of the celebrity stuff and all that stuff. Yeah, Jurek, Rich Roll, some of the athletes, the vegan athletes. Like Carl Lewis was allegedly vegan back in the day.
Oh, was he?
Really?
Yeah, definitely vegetarian. I think it's like, you know, vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I like the vegan athletes.
So, do you have like hope for the future? Future of the animals, future for the planet. Not the planet, who's going to be here, or I keep having myself. Hope for the human race.
Are we optimistic, Rooster?
I don't know.
You don't know. You got longer to live than me. Is it looking good?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have more vegans, it'll look good, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It will.
I mean, like when I went vegan, like I'm not as old as vegan as Paul Jones and those celebrities, but like I mean, they were doing it silently for decades. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even when I started, it was like the social media stuff was sort of kicking off, and it was a bit easier. And like, I think when I joined Vegan Runners, I think I'm number 300 or something. There was like 350 of us or something.
Wow.
And now there's thousands. So I think it's like, is there 2, 3, 4,000 members? I don't know. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
just over 4, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. See, I mean,
4,000?
in terms of growth of veganism, which to me is a good thing, that means there's more environmentally conscious humans running around. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, like, who was it? Someone said that I think you only need 3.14% of a population to cause a massive shift in that diet. Yeah, which really turns out to be a number of pi, right? 3.14.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
is that a banana pie?
I wish. I'm wearing banana deodorant, by the way.
What?
I'm joking. I'm not. I don't wear any deodorant because I don't stink. There's no dead animals in it.
You do think that I'm stink.
Shh, no, I don't. Edit, cut.
No, don't cut.
I mean, like, if you're talking about the growth of veganism, I mean, there's like optimism should be off the charts. You know what I mean? I mean, we're going to go to the big thing in London this weekend because, you know, we think it's important to get people to notice that the environment is not exactly heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
If you're a conscientious, honest person, you can see a few things. I mean, when I was a kid, you used to like have daddy long legs in the house all the time and moths everywhere, and, like bugs in your face all the time. I mean, like we hardly only get spiders in the house anymore.
No,
I mean,
that's true.
The amount of wildlife and bugs and that kind of stuff is so right. I mean, you don't even get the bugs squashed on your screen anymore, so it's even easier to be vegan because there's no bugs to squash when you're driving. Like, if you're a sane person, you look around and go, yeah, something's not right, but like we can do something about it. I mean, we should be guardians of the planet, not just like destroyers of it. I mean, because we're the weirdest creatures on earth. We've made the biggest mess. We have the power to undo all of that or do something better even. So, you know, and there's more and more people like, I mean, there's loads more like, I don't want to say more powerful but there's more like higher status thing is the wrong word as well, but just like people with more, what's the word?
Influence.
Yeah, like that are speaking sense and like trying to help people understand that there is something we need to do about everything. So, I mean, you know, there is an imminent disaster, but we can avoid it. No big deal.
That's really
that simple.
No biggie, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
There's more vegans and everything will just be cool.
That's true. Very
but
true.
Like, it's not just the vegan movement. There's loads of movements. I mean, there's like I've been listening to podcasts about We Are the Ark, and it's about creating arks in your garden and giving over your garden to like wildlife and just letting things be a bit more wilder and cutting holes in your fences so hedgehogs. I mean, there's hardly any hedgehogs anymore. I mean, they're all disappearing. It's like, you know, just cut a hole in the bottom of your fence so the hedgehog can run around and sniff out everyone's garden, not just yours.
Yes.
I mean, there's a million things that everybody can do every day. I mean, it's just how, you know, and they're easy. It's just, you know, don't bother cutting your grass anymore. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's easier than cutting your grass, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like most of this stuff is like makes life easier. Like eat more bananas. There's less washing up. Difficult.
Love it.
That's magic. What a good. That seems like a good place to finish.
Yeah, stop me rambling.
Full
Quick,
circle.
cut me off.
Back to the bananas.
Yeah, I've got to go and have my pudding. Banana pudding.
Yeah. What is it? Banana split.
Yeah.
Duncan, that's been brilliant. Thank you so much. We've learned a lot about, well, mainly bananas, but also about fruitarianism and about you, which is the whole point. And
extreme lifestylist.
Hey.
I like that. So
and
yes,
thank
you,
Duncan. We're a vegan family, so we think we're pretty awesome, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it is easier
fantastic.
if everybody in your house is vegan. I feel for those people where it's like split and you have to deal with
it.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Like the kids often want bacon like a weekend breakfast, and I'm like,
you just have to do what we did, and like don't have kids until you're vegan, and then only have
Yeah.
I got the timing. I got the timings a bit wrong though.
You gotta have more kids now just to make up for it.
No,
definitely not. Definitely not.
And Riley, thank you for coming. You've been an absolute star.
Yeah, you have. Hope you've enjoyed your first podcast experience.
I did.
Cool.
Excellent.
You can listen to yourself back again. Yeah.
I'll just warn you, the intro was a bit sweary because I was in a bit of a bad mood, but you two have cheered me up.
What do you
So,
like to say, Ru? What do you say about McDonald's?
Fuck McDonald's!
Responsible parenting at its best.
100%. Love it. Love it.
Well, we're not going to top that, so we may as well stop there. Thank you so much, you two. That's fantastic.
Cheers,
Yeah,
guys. Thank you.
It's been a blast.
Hey.
Hey. That was a great one. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah. Riley is a little legend.
She is really awesome.
I mean, there's a lot of visual comedy coming from her.
There was a lot of that, yes. Which is not going to come across on the podcast. But we enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was great. I couldn't do it. I still couldn't do it. I think in my head I'd like to try and do it, but I don't think I could. Fruitarianism, that is.
Oh right, okay. I thought you were going to say have a daughter.
I couldn't do that again. God.
You've got two, yeah. No, I think that would be hard work. The planning that you'd have to put into it to make sure you got enough. Well, I suppose at the start, after a while, you'd just get used to it, I guess, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Just becomes, but 56 bananas is too many.
It's going some, innit? Jeez.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he was good. It was a good episode. I mean, we always say, because they're good. We like them.
Yeah. So, right, let's do a little quick bit of maths. Right. So there's 1,440 minutes in a day, but that's 24 hours. So assume that you're 8 hours asleep. So that's 960 minutes that you're potentially awake. Right? If you had 56 bananas throughout the day, that's one banana every 17 minutes.
Wow.
But it would take you probably 3 or 4 minutes to eat a banana. So then that would just be the whole day would just be eating bananas. That's incredible.
Just realised I muted myself.
Yeah. I was talking to myself.
In fairness, bananas are quite easy to eat.
Yeah.
Not
Every
like
17 minutes.
An apple takes a while.
Yeah, there's more chewing with an apple, yeah.
Banana, you can get through it in probably eat a banana in a minute.
Mm.
If I'm
You'd have to sort of Debbie Does Dallas it and just straight down.
I haven't seen that. I don't know what you're about.
That would be, yeah, I think that would be a challenge, one banana every 17 minutes. I think after probably 3 or 4 bananas, I think I would have had enough.
Yeah.
Great episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And all it remains for us to say is, as per usual, please come and find us on social media. Say hello.
Always
ask us a question. Tell us that you want to come on. Rate us, review us, tell your friends how great we are.
Yeah.
And get them to listen. That's the most important thing.
Yes, 100%.
I tell you what, actually, you know, we both used to listen to the Kermode and Mayo movie podcast, didn't we?
We did.
Wittertainment. And one of the things that they used to say on there quite often was that their good friend Jason Isaacs, hello to Jason Isaacs, whenever he would like be chatting to people or whatever, he'd ask to look at their phone and then he'd take it and then subscribe them to the Wittertainment podcast.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we need to start challenging some of our listeners to be doing that with their friends.
That'd be great.
Whenever you speak to anyone, take their phone, log into their Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever, because we're on every podcast app. You find us and you subscribe to us.
What you could also do is when you're on holiday, someone comes up to you and says, "Can I take a pic? Can you take my picture?" And they give you their phone to take a picture. just quickly scroll through their phone, find their podcast app, and subscribe them to us as well.
Yeah, even people you don't know, subscribe to them as well.
I know someone that takes a selfie. So that he would take a pic, goes to take a picture of them, takes a selfie of himself, and then takes a picture of them. But maybe if you could just scroll through their podcast app of choice, subscribe to us, and then take the picture, then that'd be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I don't know how well that would go. I think we'd probably get a few trolls then saying, "Why am I subscribed to this?
Yeah,
These two old blokes waffling on about nonsense. Who writes this nonsense?"
Anyway,
What a
great
laugh.
review. Come and see us on social media and send us some messages. And if you want to come on. If you don't want to come on, don't. And it's fine. It's all good.
Yeah. But thanks for listening.
Thanks
We love
for
you all.
listening. We do. We love every single one.
We love both of you. Okay. Cheers.
Ta-ta.